This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI Mouse Fan Travel, and Becky and her travel agents at MEI Mouse Fan Travel are skilled in helping you plan your next trip to Walt Disney World. They can help you plan your trip to Disney, but you know what? They also can help you plan trips elsewhere. Not only are they special to Walt Disney World, but they special in Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and a lot of other great destinations. And then Mike Newell has used them for going to the Disney Adventures by Disney. So if you're interested in not only going to Walt Disney World, but maybe broadening your horizons a little bit, trying out some different places, MEI Mouse Fan Travel can help you out. Give them a try at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, April 29th, 2009.
So you say.
And this is episode 558 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hodgeberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
Matt, you'll notice I'm the only one that hasn't interrupted you yet.
Yeah, that is the key word. But thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Else joining us on today's show.
It's good to be here, though, but thank you.
Joining us on today's show
because
is
no one's going to interrupt Matt.
Len Tessa, co-author of the Introduction Guide to Walt Disney World. Len, I'm only going to say these things once here, so here you go.
Great to be here. Thanks.
And joining us once again is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
And here is Inspiration Falls. It's called that because it inspires you to go.
Good old Jungle Cruise. And on today's show, it's Listener Question Day. And we're going to start out with a question from Jennifer Tweed, a.k.a. Peter and Noah's mom, where it's, hey, y'all, I discovered your podcast about two... That's not a username. That's just she's Peter and Noah's mom.
Okay, I take that back.
I discovered your podcast about 2 months ago, and I'm now totally addicted. You made sitting at my children's swim practice an event I look forward to. Cool. Anyway, we have a trip planned for December 2009. My oldest son will turn 10 in October, so he'll be moving up to adult prices. I have no problem paying for an adult park ticket. I do have a problem, though, paying for adult prices at any of the character meals or, say, Hoop-Dee-Doo. Mainly because the child doesn't eat any more than one small plate of food. We are not doing any dining plans, so what do you think about my lying about his age when we make our ADRs for Hoop-Dee-Doo and whatever character meal we end up doing? He will only have been 10 for 2 months when we go. I'm not trying to cheat the mouse, but there is no way that he eats even close to $30 worth of food at any all-you-can-eat. Thanks for your thoughts, information, and entertainment. See, I don't know about you guys. When I was a kid, my dad always lied about my age going to any of these kinds of places for years until I was probably about, in the case of
22.
If he could have, he would have. And I think she brings up a good point. I mean, obviously, first of all, he's only 10 in 2 months. I think it's a moral issue. If you don't,
I don't know, man. You don't like the rules.
He's 10. He's 10. That's right. I mean, there's got to be a time when a child is classified as an adult, and you have to draw the line. Why should you make an exception for one and not for others?
So I mean, so there are a couple things. One is for places where it's buffets, and it's a price, one price for adults and one price for kids. There's really no way around,
right,
telling the truth. Now that being said, for every other sit down though, I mean, this is a good compromise. Every other sit down there's nothing that prevents anyone, right, adult or children, from ordering off the kids' menu. We've had guide researchers do it all the time.
But this is Hoop-Dee-Doo, though, Len.
Yeah, I know, but every meal isn't going to be a buffet or character meal, right? So I mean, there are times when they have no choice but to pay the adult price. But every other time, if the quantity of food is the issue.
Okay, so I guess the majority here says be honest.
At least in this situation, yes.
Well, let's move on to our next email from Tori from Connecticut, who writes, I'm 12 years old. My mom is taking me to Walt Disney World in August with a friend who's never been. I have been there 7 times. We're staying at Scopa Towers. What are your opinions on which ride I should take my friend on first in each park? Just so you know, I'm not a thrill ride fan. Love the podcast and love to meet one or some of you if you are in the world in late August. I was there last Magic Kingdom on Hurricane Faye Day last August and didn't learn until we got back home that Mike Scopa was there a day also. My mom and I would have loved to have met you then.
But of course you could have intuited it, right?
That's right. Well, Tori, we did an episode not too long ago about, first and last attractions. The first attraction we do in the park and the last one we do in the park. But if you're not a big thrill fan ride, Len, why don't you quickly, outline the first ride you would do in each of the parks if you're not a thrill ride fan?
That's a good question. So, in the studios, Toy Story Mania. In the Animal Kingdom, definitely Safaris. In Epcot, I think Soarin' does not count as a thrill ride, does it?
No, I think I agree.
No, it's a gentle thrill ride.
Yeah.
if anything.
So then the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom's tough. Would you consider Splash Mountain a thrill ride?
I think
Yes.
some people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that Space Mountain's down. Yeah.
Hey, hi, Annette.
Annette, how's it
Whoa.
going? Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Either that or Mike Newell just had it. Oh, never mind.
Me.
In the Magic Kingdom, I'm guessing it's either going to be Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Buzz Lightyear, depending on where you start. Could be Buzz, could be anything in Fantasyland.
And of course, at the studios, you're leaning towards Toy Story.
Toy Story Mania.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Our
Animal
next.
Kingdom?
Oh, we did that one.
Did we do Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, it's just Safaris.
Well, and that, it's a good thing you joined us on this show because this next email I think you're going to enjoy quite a bit.
Okay.
It's from Alexis Knight. Writes, "Hi guys, I just recently had a project in my computer applications class, and it asked that we rewrite lyrics of any song of our choice to where the song was about something that had to do with school. Well, I decided to rewrite the classic Grim Grinning Ghost song in Haunted Mansion. Now, I could sing these lyrics for you guys, but, if there's someone on this podcast who is quite talented at singing, I think we all agree that that'd be Len. So, Len, can I ask you to sing this song if I send you the lyrics right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
This is the Grim Grinning Ghost.
This is the tune to Grim Grinning Ghosts.
Let me mute my headphones. So much.
Too bad we don't have the music going, so you could just.
So whenever you're ready, Len.
When the lockers creak and the school halls quake, students come out from their sleeping break. Happy thoughts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim Grinning Gossip comes out to hurt our lives. Now don't close your eyes and don't try to hide, or a slimy secret may pass by your side. Shrouded in our social lives, they pretend to be so kind. Grim Grinning Gossip comes out to hurt our lives. As the gloom climbs high on the gossip tree, secrets spill out like a shopping spree. Creepy tales filled with lie start to spread and synchronize. There's some typos in here. Grim Grinning Gossip comes out to hurt our lives. When you hear the knell of the high school's bell, word glows gleam where the truth should dwell, and restless mouths open wide, rising points of stories of every size. That's awesome.
As Simon Cowell would say, I believe that was a total train wreck.
That was awesome. That was
But I
lost
love
words.
the lyrics.
Yeah,
Not
there's
so sure about the singing.
There's one more verse.
Oh, oop.
If you would like to stop this insanity, there's a simple way it
Makes
to
this
make this
history.
It makes this history. Only say what's true in life. Rest in peace, the gossip fiends. Don't hurry back. We don't like your company. It's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually.
Good.
Nice.
So she's in high school?
Yes, and Alex said, P.S. I had a Len test moment today. I went to Outback and got an iced tea. Well, when I got a refill, there was, guess what, a huge black fly in it. I couldn't help but remembering you guys.
Man.
So very nice, Len. I applaud you. Very nice job. Well done.
That was good.
Thanks.
Go take that to American Idol.
Yeah, really, that wasn't bad.
Next
And me
email.
with my sore throat, it could be swine flu. I'm a little scared.
We'll start that.
That's really just
Don't
wrong.
be so
isn't it?
pig-headed.
Next email's from Roberto. Writes, "Hi guys, I've been listening to you guys for longer than I care to admit, especially since I've probably heard about 300 of your episodes, which means I've spent approximately 4 days of my life hearing your lovely voices.
Wow.
Since I always ask you guys questions when I make a trip down to the parks, I like to ask you guys a question since, well, you guys are the Disney gurus next to that guy Lou. So to give you a little info, I'm heading down to Orlando for work for the week of 8th in December, and upon telling my little sister so I can brag, she decided to invite herself to visit me the weekend before, December 5th through 7th, and convinced me to head down there for a few days earlier. So now I'm going to Disney during a period of time where I have no idea what to expect in terms of crowds. I saw on Len's Crown calendar the crowds for December 6th, which I've never experienced. I was wondering if Epcot would be a good option that day instead of the Magic Kingdom. The reason I say Epcot is because the night before is Mickey's Christmas gig. What should I expect by that way? And we have tickets to it, so I figured that Friday would be at the Magic Kingdom would be a bad idea. Well, and I think you generally agree that whenever there's a night that has a hard ticket party at the Magic Kingdom, it's best to go to a different park, correct?
Yeah, because you're only getting you're getting fewer hours for your park admission that day, especially if you don't have the park hopper option, right? So if the park closes at 7, you really only got 10 hours available in the park.
That's right. So I think that would definitely be a good idea.
Yeah.
Next email is from Brooke of Greensburg, Kentucky, who writes, been a podcast listener for a few weeks now and busily catching up with the past episodes. They are great for my hour-long commute in the mornings and afternoons. Wow, Newell, it sounds like your kind of commute.
Hour long?
Yeah. Newell, what do you do, like 2 hours each way?
Almost, yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh my God.
My question is for Elaine. I was reading the unofficial guide.
Ding.
Scopa.
He's asleep.
I'm muted.
Is the Waltons on?
There you go. Thank you.
I was on mute.
And I noticed on the page talking about the dining plan that there was a tip that AAA members can receive discounts on the dining plan.
I'm not sure anymore. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so there you go.
Oh, really? Was that the question?
Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah, it's updated on the book's website. Sorry.
Okay. So there you go, Brooke. Our next email is from Jay, who just wanted to write, P.S. Beth from Mousefan was a huge help, even though I had already booked my package with our longtime agent here at home. I will most certainly be booking with Mousefan in the future. She was great. Oh, and I'm supposed to say Mangello at some point? Mangello. Next email is from Craig from the United Kingdom, who writes, I'm from the UK, but also have a house in Claremont. We come to Florida 3 to 4 times a year. I try and help other Brits out with tips on sites such as the Dib, MSE, or even All Ears, which I have been a member of for over 10 years. I often get asked about tickets and the conversion of ticket types. In the UK, you can buy an ultimate ticket, which gives you an unlimited access for 7 or 14 days. I tell people that this type cannot be exchanged for any Magic Your Ways or annual passes. Is this correct? I believe that is correct, right, Annette?
I believe that's correct.
It's a special ticket that they have in the United Kingdom for Brits who usually tend to come for quite a long amount of time, so you can't take it and exchange it for a different kind of ticket if you wanted to downgrade or upgrade. Craig writes, also, I've been writing a topic on parking at the parks. Do you have any tips on other legal and legit places to park, such as the Grand Floridian, if you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
TTC.
Yeah, TTC. Really, that's it.
Yeah. It's nothing really. I mean, all the ways you could park or get around it are really just inconvenient, if you ask me. It's worth the money. Or get an annual pass, and then you don't have to pay the money. And, of course, if you're a resort guest, Craig, you don't have to pay the parking fees. So that's I think a lot of people forget about that if you are a resort guest, you do not have to pay the parking fee. You just have a little thing on your windshield of your car, and then you'll be set.
That's the parking is one thing that we have to take into account in the annual pass calculations, along with the fact that you can park hop with that too. I definitely gotta do that. Yeah. Anyway.
Next email's from Amy, who writes, we're going down for Walt Disney World, and we're thinking about going during spring break. Anyway, during peak time period, is it best to take advantage of extra magic hours or avoid those parks on the days that have extra magic hours? I ask because we'll be there for so many days that it seems like we'll still be able to get everything in and miss some ugly lines if we don't take advantage of the extra magic hours.
How many days did Amy say she was going?
About a week.
She should be able to see everything in a week. The thing, I got to do a blog post on this. I swear to God. The thing with extra magic hours, we've said it before on the show. The thing with morning extra magic hours is that it's great, but so few people can actually get up and get themselves out of bed and get there in time to do it that it doesn't make any sense for us to recommend it because we know that people can't do it. But if you could, right? If you were a coffee achiever, Amy, right, and you went to bed early the night before and you got up early and you got there, Magic Kingdom is definitely the place to take advantage of it.
Next email is from Jack and Sally, whereas I must have fallen asleep during the part of the DVC review podcast. You know, the part where you talked about Vero Beach and Hilton Head, the apparent forgotten stepchildren. That's true. We are not DVC members, but we spent several days at the Hilton Head Resort at the beginning of the summer, and we're blown away by the place. There is enough there that is completely unique about Hilton Head that you could go an entire show on the resort itself. We were lukewarm on Vero, but our whole family loved Hilton Head. Thanks for an otherwise great show. Now, Annette, you own at Hilton Head?
I own at Hilton Head, and I love it down there. Love it. The best beach ever.
I love the Hilton Head beach.
Isn't it nice?
Oh my God, it's so flat and long.
You can ride your bike on it. You can ride the whole way. Right. It's Disney's resort there is gorgeous. It's right around a marina. You got yachts around you. Where else are you going to have that? And you can bike ride or take the shuttle over to their beach house at the beach. There's lots to do. And if you're a golfer, obviously you're in heaven in Hilton Head. But we've done the dolphin excursion. The kids have gone out and seen dolphins, and you can take a dinner shuttle down to Savannah, actually, and go down there and have dinner. So there's lots of things to do.
The next email's from Lisa, who writes, I really enjoyed your review of Coronado Springs and would like to hear you review the Walt Disney World resorts more often. It is truly helpful to hear opinions on frequent worlders when it comes to accommodations, amenities, resort dining, etc. Thanks in advance.
We should do. We should focus on one resort, a show on one resort.
Yeah, well, how about Friday's episode, Newell? Does that work for you?
That sounds good. What a great idea.
That'd be a good idea.
Let's do. Well, we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. But Friday's episode will be all about a resort, so check it out on Friday.
Awesome.
Next email's from Chris Heinrichs of, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
God bless you.
Hi, guys and gals if appropriate. I have a question about Magical Express. We're traveling to Walt Disney World for 5 nights, and we always rent a car for no other reason than we hate relying solely on Disney transportation. I rent using Emerald Club with National, and we love it, but we never really know what will be available to us. My question is this. If we're 5 people going down, so we have luggage for 5 people as well as golf clubs. I know Disney's official word on Magical Express is that you need to check in and be on a bus to have your luggage delivered. I was wondering if we all decide to take the rental car to a resort, will our luggage still arrive, or do we need to send at least one person on the bus to ensure this process? Any info or personal experience would be greatly appreciated. So Annette, if the party of 5 and only one person takes the bus, can all 5 luggage go on the bus for Magical Express?
They all would have to be associated to that one person, I would think.
You don't have to be in the room, maybe? I'm not sure. This is one I'm really not sure about.
Yeah, because, we know that if you all
Somebody has to go with it.
Yeah,
but
if everybody skips it, obviously it won't work that way. They won't do that. So you need to have, and generally it's always been, if you're going to skip it, then everybody goes on it. But that's a good question. If one person can kind of be the mule on the big mule and let everyone else, take advantage of the rental car over there. You probably have to call Disney for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess, I kind of like having my luggage with me. So if I had a car,
yep,
I kind of want it in the car with me. But
makes sense. Next email is from Heather from Pittsburgh, where I had quite a surprise on Thursday, November 16th, 2008. Glenn, I'm sure this rings a bell. I referenced the date because by this time this was read, I have no memory of this magical day anymore. I had seen a teaser for a Disney on a Dime report in the 5 o'clock news. I figured, what could they tell me that I don't already know? Much to my surprise, it was what I learned, but who I saw. You may be thinking Mickey, Minnie, but no, you were wrong. The person being interviewed was no other than Mr. Len Testa. I screamed with delight. The funny thing was, a few friends called me because they had heard me talking about all of you before. Don't be fooled, he didn't mention any of you, but they did inform us that he is the co-author of the unofficial guide. Thank you. I have to say that I was a little disappointed that he didn't give a Go Steelers chant, but we'll forgive him. Maybe he didn't realize this was Pittsburgh news station.
Oh, no. We actually talked football the entire time at lunch. Go ahead.
This night will go down in history. Love the podcast and all of you. Wish I could have gotten into the Mousefest 500th show, so if you want to give me a ticket, that would be great.
Well,
yeah,
a little late on that one.
Welcome back.
Good luck, bro.
Show, yeah.
Kim,
folks, you got the wait list.
Heather, I have a similar story about Len. I was on a flight on AirTran, and I was reading the in-flight magazine, and they had an article about Disney World. And I said, what do they know? What are they going to say? Like, what's their tip? Use FastPass? Like mocking it to my wife. I said, what is it? Let me just see what garbage they're going to have in here, because there's no way they're going to offer me anything useful. And I flip open to the article, and lo and behold, it's Len's picture right on the front of the article.
I knew it. I was right.
Garbage.
Idiots. Yeah, that's awesome.
Next email is from Steve Medina. Buenos dias, Miguel, Leonardo, Mateo, Miguelito, y el fabuloso Anita. I think that was right.
What is this, Telemundo?
Univision.
Univision.
We've got the hot chicks. We need a band. Go ahead.
I have a question for Anita. Being from South Florida, DVC member and annual pass holder, hiring a travel agent is usually not what I think of when I plan a trip to the world. I also rarely stay for more than 3 nights at a time. I know a couple of people who have taken planes up to the world, but that was because they were meeting someone there and would be driving back down, so airfare usually isn't part of the travel plans. My question is, do you get many travelers like myself from South Florida? What kind of benefits are there for this type of traveler?
We do get several. We've got quite a few people in Florida that actually we help, and we make their trips plans for them, even last minute. We had one client that actually called and said, "Going close by, can you get a room?" So we're on call. We'll do room only reservations, Florida resident, annual pass. We can do that. The other thing we can help with is, sometimes you're looking for dining plans and surprises and some of that other stuff. We can help with that as well. We helped someone plan a birthday party in the world, so we can help with little things like that. It's not all about the airplanes and the resort stay, long tickets and that kind of thing.
And Steve, don't forget about the other services that Mouse Fan Travel offers, or any travel agency really. I mean, if you want to book a cruise or an adventure by Disney or things like that are outside of Walt Disney World but still Disney in name, you can take advantage of that, and they'll be more than happy to help you out with that.
And again, we don't charge you a dime for that. So, you're not paying us.
That's right. Newell pays everything.
Newell pays me. There
I write a check every month.
Water bill, Becky.
Yeah.
All right. Next email is from John, who's better known as Jaco Direwolf on Subsonic and WTW Today. Hoorah! Right. Hello, everyone.
It's like a tired hoorah.
I've got a super geek question that I've been thinking about, and the only person that I can think of that might have had this data on this is Len.
Ooh, all right. I'm excited. Go ahead.
It's a sort of complex and involves a bit of a setup, but here it goes. The old line wait time system was based on line length. I guess Disney has or had some formula that was this ride handled so many unit length of time per unit time. Mm-hmm. They had the signs that said 45 minutes from this point, and back in the 1980s, I would time it, and they were pretty right on. So those times on the signs were good because as soon as the queue line reached the sign, it wasn't reactive like the current system with the red cards. Mm-hmm. The new system, the computer puts those red cards into the line and measures how long they take to wind through the queue. So if 100 people get out of the show and jump onto a line, the computer doesn't know until after the line has grown. The old system with the signs would compensate for it right away. Now with the current system, they get a better model of how the line grows and shrinks over the day, and they could add predictive information into the time estimate, but I don't feel Disney is doing that today.
No, probably not.
Now for the question. Does anyone have heard any data about how accurate the new computer card system is versus the old line length method? I get the feeling that the old system was better. The new system, while not as sexy, is more for Disney to gauge attraction popularity and staffing needs than to give guests an accurate view of queue wait times. P.S. is a showman engineer.
So it's interesting. Fred's done a lot of analysis around posted wait times versus actual wait times to see how accurate they are, and I think we've talked about this before on the show, but Disney doesn't seem to get things right until around noon or 1 o'clock, which tells me that the red cards, if they're being used but in the early part of the day, it's certainly not contributing at all to accuracy. It's only when I think lines are at their longest and you've got both the red cards and the visual cues that the actual wait times and the posted wait times become closer.
Well, I think also the issue was they changed the system line. This is my
Don't
theory.
forget about FastPass too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is because of FastPass.
Yeah, I think you were the one that actually mentioned that, because I told Fred, and we thought that was a great idea, that the once FastPass started, the old visual cues, like, this particular post in line meant a 30-minute wait, went out the door because of the preferential treatment that FastPass riders get with respect to entry into the ride. So that was a great observation, actually. If we ever gave out a Nobel Prize for theme park ride statistics, Matt, you would have definitely been nominated. You and Bono, because there's no way not nominate Bono for every ride.
And it's always, Bono's always in my way. I hate that guy.
I know.
I don't think that this system has anything to do with attraction staffing, though. I can't see how that would come into play here.
I don't think it's staffing. I think it's they're relying typically on one thing or the other, and not both.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, it's really unusual, though, because in the morning you would think there's fewer people that they could figure it out, but they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an inexact science, to say the least, with the way that Disney does it currently.
Yeah.
Next email's from Michelle in North Carolina. Writes, hi all. My boyfriend and I recently bought into the Animal Kingdom Lodge DVC and are excited to make our first trip there in May. I realize that since we will be there before Memorial Day itself, crowds will be a little higher. However, we're also hoping to do a day at Universal. Would Saturday the 23rd be a good day for Universal, or do they get higher volume crowds on holiday weekends? Should we try to visit Universal earlier in the week and stick with Disney on Saturday? I'd like to see both Universal parks in one day.
I think it's a wash.
Hold on a second. I actually have the best days for Universal.
Oh. I didn't know you had those.
We do, actually.
That's the blog at touringplans.com for those.
Blog at touringplans.com. Okay, so for Universal, it is the best days are Tuesday and Friday. So actually, it's pretty close to the Magic Kingdom days. Tuesday and Friday and Saturday are the best days. The worst days are Thursday, Monday, and Sunday. Wednesday somewhere in the middle.
Cool.
And for IOA, it's Tuesday, Monday, and Saturday. So it looks like Tuesdays and Saturdays are your best days to hit those two parks. So we're going to try to do them both on one day.
And if you stop by the Hard Rock at Universal, be sure to say hi to Mikey and Lauren.
Mikey and Lauren.
That's right. There are listeners over there. They're diehard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. They love the podcast, but can't help but take money from NBC.
There you go.
Next email is from Katie Smith of Utica, Michigan. Writes, hello, guys. Love the show and have been a listener from the start. I always play the show for my 7-month-old daughter in the car, and she loves to hear the wheezing laugh that one of you has. Can't figure out who. I believe that's Scopa.
Yeah. Boy, there are going to be some therapy. The kid's going to have behavioral problems in preschool, and they're going to be like, what could you possibly have? Oh, never mind. Yeah. He's going to be running and going, ding!
When whoever it is starts wheezing, she stops what she is doing, starts looking around, and then laughing. I'm going to the world very soon and staying off property in a vacation condo. I was thinking of going over to the boardwalk one afternoon and evening with my husband, and here are my questions. Is admission free to the boardwalk itself? And if we do not have reservations to any restaurants, will we be denied entry? There's no admission to get into the boardwalk area. When you get to the gate, just say you're going to the boardwalk, and they'll let you park over there. Not a problem at all. We were thinking of eating at the ESPN Club since they seem to have food that is more our taste. We're not into anything exotic, just burger and fry type people. Has anyone ever been there, and is it worth our time, or would we be better off going to McDonald's? Well, what are your thoughts on the ESPN Club?
ESPN's better than McDonald's.
Yeah, okay. The food's
But
better.
not as good as Beaches and Cream.
Not as good
Yeah,
as
but you can never get into Beaches and Cream. That's the thing.
Nor can you get into ESPN Club. In my experience, it's always very crowded. I found.
Yeah, but
You got to go when there's not a game on.
That's true. Yeah. The other thing is, Katie, one thing you might like if you really do like burgers, the other restaurant there that actually doesn't participate in at ADRs and advanced dining reservations on the boardwalk is the Big River Grill and Brewing Works. And that's they obviously serve burgers there, and they also serve quite a selection of beer. So you might find it to your liking, and they don't take reservations, so it's great for walk-ups. Katie has one more question. I was thinking of forcing my husband to rent a Surrey bike. Is this fun? And if we decide to rent one, where can we ride to?
It doesn't look fun on the way up the hill. That's all I'm going to say.
They're a lot heavier than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, it took two of us to push one around in March. So they're heavy. It's not like you get a 2-person Schwinn with with some cabling in between them. They got to weigh a couple hundred pounds.
Yeah, I mean I think they're fun to some extent, but I think that after a lap or two they may not be. It's just part of vacation. I think if you think it's going to be fun, go for it.
You know what would be more fun? With a motor on them.
But
Little cars.
Basically, where you can take them is just around the lake over there at the boardwalk. So you go from the boardwalk resort to the yacht club to the beach club to around the Dolphin, and there's a big loop that you can do with them, and that's basically it. And there are some killer hills over there that'll make you want to be like the women in the Flintstones and not have to do the driving because they're pedaling rather because it's pretty intense on some of those hills.
And if someone gets in the way, there's a bell.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Oh.
Somebody please take that bell away from him.
Nobody takes my bell.
Oh, God. All right.
Great.
Next email is from Avery from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Writes, hey, Matt, Mike, Len, and Annette. I'm wondering if any of you have tried or heard feedback from anyone who's tried renting points from DVCRequest.com. We're thinking of trying it out for our upcoming vacation, but wanted to know what you thought of renting points through the Disboards, if that would be a better idea. We might just end up staying at the All-Star Music Suites again, which we love, but we thought if we could stay at a DVC resort for a decent price, it would be worth staying there. P.S. Len, the new resort pictures on the site look great. It really does add a whole other aspect to the site.
Oh, thanks. I just added a whole bunch today too. Not me, but I mean the Macos did. But anyway, it was the royal me.
Yes. Have any of you rented through that site? I've only heard stories from renting from through the Diz.
I haven't.
No. Okay.
Okay, well then I guess we've generally heard good things about renting points through the Diz. I can't comment on the other side, so I don't want to lead you one way or the other. All right, well, it's time for our last question of the day, and that means Mr. Newell picks our last question. So, Mike, I'm going to give you 3 options, and you pick one email to be read today, and the rest go back into the queue.
Let's go.
All right, first option is Le Cellier, no thanks. Second option is Living Near the Mouse. And your third option is a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party Conundrum.
Ooh.
Oh. So I'm gonna go with the conundrum because yeah, let's do that.
Okay, fair enough. Last email of the day is from Katie from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Woo! Go Warthogs.
Okay.
It's the name of their minor league baseball team.
Great.
Katie writes, "Hey, podcast gang, the hubby to be and I are heading to the World September 26th through October 3rd, 2009. We want to experience the Food and Wine Festival as well as Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for the first time. As of today, the dates that I have heard that fall during our trip for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party are Tuesday, September 29th, Thursday, October 1st, and Friday, October 2nd. Which date would be best to attend the party? Obviously looking for the lowest crowds. Any ideas?
Tuesday.
So Tuesday,
I'd say
September 29th.
Tuesday.
It's cheaper too, right?
can be.
Tuesday it would be cheaper. Yeah, but I mean, it being a school night,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
a traditionally
avoid
slow day for the
Fridays.
Magic Kingdom. Yeah, and Tuesday's also a slow day for the Magic Kingdom anyway. So Tuesday.
Yep.
Very good. Well, that's it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And, you know, if there's someone who really knows their stuff about planning trips to Walt Disney World, it's Becky and her agents over there. Because not only do they help you plan your trips to Walt Disney World, they can help you plan your trips to the Disney Cruise Line. I know that Mike Newell and I love the Disney Cruise Line. And they can help you plan your trips there. Adventures by Disney, a Disneyland, and pretty much anywhere that Disney comes into play, they'll help you plan that. And like Annette mentioned earlier on the show, there are no fees to you. It's the same price. And in fact, a lot of times they can get you a better deal on there. If there's some special rates going on, they'll apply it for you. It's a great service. Give them a try. Visit them online at mousefantravel.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments. Visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Lantesta, Mike Sopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.